Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, wherever it is that you're watching this video from. We're here in Ohio, and it's the Monday right before Thanksgiving, and it never fails. The roosters, they see me walk out here, and they just want to make their song heard. So you'll probably hear a lot of that in this video, but the purpose for today's video is to walk you through the orchard, show you what's happening with the figs or what's not happening with the figs. And it looks like it's one of two things, okay? It's either these wrappings are either going to be little cocoons, so that these trees, when I open them up, when I open these bags up in the spring, they'll have been like a cocoon and we'll see some beautiful new life in the spring. The other option is these are flat out tombstones, and I'm going to open these up in the spring and I'm going to find dead figs. So we don't know yet. That's I don't know if it's the fun or the excitement or the fear. Anyway, showing you, I know I've showed a video previously on kind of how we've got this started, but again, I purchased some of these moving blankets. I wrapped the fig trees as best as I could with that, and then we ended up putting these feed bags, and we have had some rain on these already, and it's iced over. These bags really do repel the water, and that was the purpose for this. It's really like a mini tarp, and it's a cheap and an inexpensive way. I figure we already paid for the food, for the chicken feed. Why not use them? You know, it's like I already got my tarps right here in feed bags. So some of them I did not put feed bags over just because they were too small. And again, I unfortunately had some damage on some of these just because they wouldn't stop growing. And so I've just covered them with mulch. Maybe a big fail, I don't know. But there again, that's I'll have some more information come springtime to know whether it was worth doing or whether it was not worth doing. You know, some of these in here I didn't share last time. Some of these figs I actually took landscaping staples, and I could bend them over, bend the trees over close to the ground, and that's what I did. And then I covered them with mulch. Now I actually thought about laying a tarp over this whole thing, but I did last year. I took some of this whatever these are called. These not rebar, but anyway, I'm not even thinking of the right word for it. But anyway, I took those, and that's what these were used for last year, as I put them in right here. And I put those in, and then I put the tarp over top, and I stuffed it with straw. Well, in the spring when I opened it up, it was just too much mold, and the trees actually were molded, and just about everything in there died clear to the ground. So even with that little bit of protection, it did not go well. So instead of laying the tarp down here this year, I felt like maybe it would hold that moisture in again like it did the previous year. Now I've seen videos where people have done this and they've had great success. That was not my story, so this is going to be the second attempt at doing this. So I've loaded it up with mulch in the hopes that, and again, my theory is that this will breathe a little bit better than having a tarp over top of it and not allowing it to breathe. So yeah, I don't know. All I'm doing is just showing you what I'm doing. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying your way is wrong. Just simply saying this is my way, and come springtime, we'll find out if it was worth it or not. And in that way, I'll have more information. And listen, everybody's climate's different. Your weather, your microclimates, everything's going to be different. So even some of the things that you see here that I've talked about or I've showed may not work for you in your climate and where you live exactly. We get a lot of wind out here, which is the other thing that I wanted to share with you. If you did see our previous video, my hope and my plan was to buy tarps that would literally go down this entire stretch of this back fence. And the purpose for that was to just give an extra layer. I was literally going to come up this side of the fence on the outside, and then I was going to bring it clear across this way like a triangle almost, and then load mulch on this side so that it would be held down and so the winds wouldn't get to it. And literally, when we were putting the tarp up, it was on one of the windier days. It was like one of the worst days to do it. But I'm actually glad that we did that, because what I noticed, even just with one up, about a 20-foot piece of tarp, that wind was blowing so hard from the south this way that it literally was pushing my fence, my wooden fence, almost like it wasn't going to be able to withstand the wind. And my thought was, over the course of the winter months, with the freezing and thawing of the ground and then the moving of the wind, I was afraid that it was going to end up laying the fence down or damaging it in some way. And so, yeah, we packed up shop and said it wasn't worth losing the back part of the fence for some trees that may not even survive the winter. So that was what we decided to do. So there again, feed bags are working out actually really well. Like I say, they're good tarp-like material. They've held the moisture out, and then we did end up pushing some of the mulch up around the bases. I'm not sure if that's going to hold the moisture in, or my thought was it would give it more protection. But there again, I'm not afraid to fail, and this may be that. But then again, in the spring, we may open this up and realize it worked for us. So regardless, just wanted to walk you through, show you what's going on. Like I say, one of two things: either they're going to be little cocoons with beautiful new life underneath in the spring, or they're going to be mice hotels through the winter, and I'm going to come out to some tombstone figs. Hopefully that's not the case. But hey, thanks for joining me on this video, and we'll see you on another one.